All right, welcome to Classtra. This is Ahmed speaking. I'm going to demo a variety of the functionality for creating your own platform for live learning here. I won't be able to cover everything today, but I'll try to go over the basic steps. So let's go ahead and get started. The first thing that you're going to do is register your platform. You're going to enter your name and your domain. So if you want to have a domain called Lunar Llama, .classtra.org. You just enter this and enter the rest of your information. You will reserve the lunarllama.classtra.org for your domain. This is important because this is something that you'll be sharing with your students, and your students will come visit it, and also you'll be using this to connect your custom domain. So make sure you finalize this before you send out any links. So once you enter your information here, I picked the domain lunar.classtra.org. I'm just going to go ahead and sign up. And that's it. Initially, this creates your platform, and the domain lunar.classtra.org is all yours. We will visit it in a little bit, but first we'll go through some of the onboarding steps. So the first step that you want to do in setting up your platform, they're outlined right here when you log in, is to connect your Stripe account. When you come to connect your Stripe account, you have two options. You can create a new Stripe account with Classtra, or you can connect an existing Stripe account. So I'm going to go ahead and connect my Stripe account to this platform. So I've gone ahead and connected my existing account. I connected Classtra's account, Clastra's Stripe account. There are two things to pay attention to here. The charges enabled and payouts enabled. They both have to have green check marks next to them. I'm going to go ahead and go to the next step on the onboarding and add logos and icons to customize my platform's theme. To do that, I'm going to come here and I'm going to scroll down to the branding. I can add the logo, and the logo will show up right over here on your platform, right on the top left. And then the fav icon will be showing up at the top left or right corner, depending on where you are, as a small icon for people to remember your website by. So let's go ahead and add an image for both of these. I'm going to use this right here, and I'm gonna go ahead and click save. All right, we got the message that it was saved successfully. Now for the theme, I would like to change my theme to match our colors. So I'm going to choose this as my primary color, and then I'm going to choose this as my secondary color. And finally, we are going to choose this as the accent color. I'm going to go ahead and save. All right, now that our theme is set and our logos are set up, I'm going to go ahead and go to the next steps of creating and initializing my platform. Now, the onboarding steps say that you should create your first class, but before I do that, I'm going to do two things. I'm going to add a few categories to organize my classes into different categories and to help my students filter and explore and find these classes. First one is we're going to say tech classes or technology. All right. I'm not going to give it a description for now. It's fine. And then I'm going to create another one. I'm going to say spiritual. And I'm going to say maybe other. Group all other classes. Quick note here, you can order them however you want to order them, and they will show up in the same order that you order them. The second thing that I want to do before creating my classes is I'm going to go ahead and invite a few instructors, right? So if I go to my users over here, I can see that I have instructors and students and staff, and these will get populated as I use the platform a little bit more. I'm going to add a few instructors and a few staff members. A few staff members, I'm going to add .org, and then I'm going to give him access to all of the classes and access to all of the communication functionality, including emails and SMSs, right? And I'm going to add another one, Omer at Classtra.org, and I'm going to give him a owner access. All right, so including myself, now there are 3 staff members, and we don't have any instructors yet, so I'm just going to add a few instructors. I'm going to add Jane Doe and Jane at classtra.org, and she's got the invite. All right, so now that I've added my instructors, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create my first class. All right, so we're now going to create a class or live course or a program in Classtra. So this is a very key part of the Classtra experience because a lot of the options and configurations of your class experience comes from this page. And as you can see on the left, they're categorized into different segments where you can access different parts of your class. On the top, you're going to see save as a draft. When you save a class, it has a few different statuses. One of them is a draft, and then published is another one, right? If you want it to be visible for the entire world, then you can say publish now. If you want it to be private, only you can see it, and the instructors and anybody who has admin access to your platform, then save it as a draft. Okay. If you go back, it'll also save as a draft. All right. So I started adding this class. It's iOS, development crash course. So we're gonna build this course together, and then selected the category that it belongs to. I can select many. I have only one instructor on my account right now. I can add more, and I can add them here if I wanted to, but for now it's just Jane. Now the content of this class, we can choose if it's pre-recorded or live sessions, right? And then you can, if it's in person or not, you can also select an address if it's in person, but it's only going to be live online sessions. Now I'm going to go ahead and put a limit on the number of students who can attend this class since it's a highly engaged live interactive class. I'm going to say the maximum is 15 seats for this class. I'm going to move on to the next tab, and it'll ask me for an image in the description of the class. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to go ahead and drag an image for this class. Let's see, there's an image, and I can change the photo if I want. And then I can add rich text over here to describe the class. So we'll go ahead and do that. All right, our description of the class is done. And now time to move on to the next steps of the process. Now the schedule. Okay, the first thing that I want to do is I want to make sure the class start at 5 p.m. instead of 7, and at 10 p.m. and it will happen every week until the end of February, but it will happen every week only on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Okay. Now, of course, I can choose different presets or make it one day or occurring in many different scheduling options, but for now, this is what we're going with. Now, this will generate all of the sessions that will be included in this class, right? So there's a total of 9 sessions. They're numbered and the dates are included with them. All right, if we move on to the sessions, there's plenty of options that we can do here. Number one, we can change the title, the topic of the session, and we can add rich text here if you want to add formatted text content for your students. You can also add and upload content, including videos or files. So I'm just going to go ahead and upload a video file so that the students can watch it on the introduction session. Okay, so now it's over here. I can delete it if I want to, or I can view it. Let's move on to pricing. When it comes to pricing your class, you have plenty of options. So let's go through them very quickly. You can have it, be free, completely free, or you can have it be paid. And let's say I'm going to have it paid for a one-time price of $1,000. Okay. Now, Classtra, for some plans, takes some fees, transaction fees, if you're on the lower end of the plans. So you can either absorb that or pass it along to the students. Okay, and this will give you an estimated payment per student. For me, I'm going to absorb the payment, and the students will only pay $1,000. Now, I can offer group discounts if more than one person enrolls under the same account. And let's say if the second person joins, we'll give them 100% discount. Sorry, not 100%, but rather 100 USD discounts. And then if they have a third person, let's say it's a parent who's enrolling 3 kids, we're also going to give that second child a $200 discount. So a parent with 3 children is going to pay $1,000 for the first one, 900 for the second one, and 800 for the third one. You can add up to 4 additional discounts, so up to 6 people registering together. Now, you can also offer monthly or weekly installments, meaning that this $1,000 can be paid in, monthly or weekly installments. I'm going to say you can pay in 5 weeks, right? And that is going to be $200 per week in 5 installments. Okay. So this sums up pricing. In the Access tab, there's a few things. You can enable chat or disable it. For us right now, we are going to enable the chat so that people can chat inside the class. This is different from the chat inside the live session, which is enabled by default. But this is, the chat outside, a constant chat group basically created for your class so that people can reach out to the instructor, people can talk to each other. It's your basically community for people to talk to each other, right? Now I can choose to allow students who get the links for the live sessions to join without having to log in and verifying their enrollment in the class, which has generally been okay. But if you want to be very strict about it and require that they actually log in and make sure that they are enrolled in the class, then you can just disable allowing them. Finally, we can choose to send a custom email for people who register in the class, and we can add an email rich text over here, and they will receive it upon registering. The final part for creating your class is if you want to request some custom information from your students when they enroll. This is the place where you would do it. You would add custom fields to the enrollment process. This would be the question, and then this would be the input type. So once they enroll, then they will be required to answer these questions first. I'm going to go ahead and delete this, and I'm going to go ahead and publish my class. All right, we are now inside the class details page. This is the view that a registered student sees without the admin access. A bunch of these things are only for admins. And if you want to check, like what it looks like to a student, this is what it looks like to a student. They'll have a bit more stuff here for their student information, and they have more than one student enrolled, they'll have to choose who's chatting. But I'm going to go back to my admin view, and it says class progress is 7%. This gives you the overall progress of the class, and then the current session has started about an hour ago, and it's going. Now the current session will always be highlighted at the very top, and it will have the status, whether it's live or if it's past or upcoming. And students can click join now from here or join now from here to join the currently live session. The final thing that I will be talking about today in the class creation is the ability to add promo codes. It's always a good idea to market your classes and to add some discounts and to offer people who have taken previous classes discounts on future classes. And to do that, you would go to your dashboard, your admin dashboard, and then go down to the promo code section and create a promo code. Now you can create a single promo code or create multiple promo codes depending on your plan. But creating a single promo code, let's say Lunar intro 30%. And this will give a 30, I'm gonna add a 30% discount right here. Or I can just make it $30 off of the class amount, but I'll make it 30% of whatever amount it is. And I can make it specific to a single class or to all classes or expiration date, a bunch of these options that are very self-explanatory, so I'm just going to leave them be. I'm going to go ahead and save, and when I do that, I can monitor who has used it and how many people, who's the student that used it and for what courses they used it. One thing I like to do when I create a platform at the very beginning is to add a customer support or chat widget for the entire website. So to do that, I would go to the integrations page from the settings menu. and I would add a custom HTML, which I copied from my chat widget provider, and I pasted it over here. And then when I save, and then we will see this in action when I visit the lunar.classtra.org. All right, finally, now that all my platform is all set up and I have 2 classes published and ready, and I'm ready to accept payments, I have a few promo codes for students. Let's go ahead and visit my newly created domain, lunar.classtra.org. All right, and when I do that, this is what shows up. As you can see, my brand is up top. I love it. I have all my colors, perfect. And I have my 2 published classes. I have my categories over there where students can filter. Now, this is virtual category, and then this is the technology category, beautiful. So if I come here as a student who is not enrolled, I'll see an overview of the class. All right, this is the description, this is the teacher, these are all the sessions, timings, installments, etc., etc. Notice how everywhere on the website there's this little chatty guy. This is the embed script that we added earlier. So people can send us messages via the custom HTML embeds. Now people can come and enroll, and when they enroll, they can select a method of payment. They can log in and continue on with the process. Notice how it also says, hey, you can save up to $300 if you enroll more students. We automatically update and optimize these texts so that they result in more purchases for you. On the class details page, you can view all of the students, their registration statuses, and their payment option. You can also import students manually by entering their name and their email address. When it's time to go live with your class, you will come to the class details page as an admin or as an instructor, and you can join the session. Once you do, you will be asked if you want to notify the students or not. If you do choose to notify them, be aware that the system will send an SMS and an email to all of the confirmed students that the instructor has joined and started the session. Here's the link to join. All right, we are in the live session right now, and I'm going to join from my phone as well as a student. So when I join, you'll notice that the student here joins, and we are in tile mode. Now, there's a lot of features in the live session. I won't go over all of them, but I'm going to go over a few of them. You can select your input at any time during the meeting from the arrow on the microphone right down here. You can select your input and your output and test it as well to make sure everything's working. You can go into and out of tile mode to see everybody or to just focus on the dominant speaker. You can also protect your meeting with a password. There's a lot of other features, including sharing a live stream right to YouTube if you expect a very large number of people to join, or you can simply start recording the class, and when you're done, it will be automatically uploaded to the content of your class. One very important and very useful feature is making everybody follow your screen. If you want to make sure that everybody is looking at the same thing you're looking at, you come to the settings and you click on everybody follows me. That way, if I enter tile mode, everybody's going to be in the same tile mode. If I go to the regular dominant speaker, then they will see whoever's the dominant speaker. If I select a certain speaker, then everybody will see the certain speaker on their screens. I can also kick individual participants out of the meeting, or send private messages, or simply lower their voices. When you're done with your class and it's time for you to leave, you just click the hang up button and you're right back at the class.